mode now. So.
Oh, this should be fun.
So a few months ago, you were sitting next to me on this side.
All right, well, it's great to be here. We're going to do nothing less than revolutionize sports entertainment. What we do is we measure professional and college sports from the beginning of a game to the end of the game, and we measure it for excitement. We send out alerts to individuals who signed up to our service when the excitement exceeds a certain threshold that our users have sent. And so basically what we're doing is we're taking a look at these games moment by moment, and we're analyzing them on the basis of the pace of the game, the parity of the teams, like how close they are. We're looking at the novelty of the action. We're looking at the momentum shifts in the game, and we're looking at the context of the game. And all this so that we can maximize your entertainment value when you sit down to watch sports. So, of course, you can sit down and you can look at 3 hours of a sporting event in the hope that something comes through that's actually truly entertaining. Or you can wait till SportsCenter and you can look for like 10 minutes of action and see, that in that 10 minutes of action we're going to show you 10 different games and 5 different clips, and it's all in little 10-second segments. But what we want to do is we want to draw you into the action as the excitement is just starting to grow. So that when you tune into a hockey game and it's the Sharks against the Kings, and the Sharks are down 4-0, and then they start coming back, and it's 4-1, and it's 4-2. We zip you into the action, so at the end of the day, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing the Sharks come back, and it's 6-5. They've won the game, and you've been thoroughly entertained. Because even this might be your team, or this might not be your team, but what you've seen is an incredible comeback. And we were able to pull you into that action. We pulled you in the second period. In this particular example, you probably were watching an hour of action. But because of the pace of the game and the comeback and the novelty of the action, it was something that was truly entertaining to you. Another example, if we had actually been around during the Olympics and watching the women's team play Brazil, we would have tuned you into the 75th minute. And you could have seen this happen when they beat Brazil in overtime, an incredible game, an incredible upset. And this would have been great entertainment value. Even if you don't watch women's soccer that often, perhaps very rarely, you would have gotten true entertainment value out of this. And I say this and I point this up because actually Women's World Cup Soccer is coming in Germany in a few weeks. And a little plug, Thuuz is a great way to watch World Cup Soccer because we'll watch it for you, send out alerts, draw you in when that action is very exciting. You can tune in immediately, or because it's 7 in the morning and it's over in Germany, you just tape it, watch it later at night. Or if you haven't taped it, we're going to link you to ESPN3, and they have every game live and archived. So that you can watch that action even if you didn't tape it ahead of time. And that's one of the value propositions. We're measuring the excitement, and we're telling you where to find those games, whether they're on your TV, or they're in front of your PC, or they're on your handheld, or in your tablet. There was a football game that was earlier in the season, Week 15 NFL. Eagles were down 21 points with 7 minutes left to go. Again, send out the alert, draw you into the game, probably 25 minutes of NFL action. You saw one of the most incredible comebacks in NFL history. I had a clip, but the Microsoft technology didn't work quite so well. So you can imagine how great that run back was with 14 seconds left on the clock. So how does this all work? What we're doing is we're measuring and monitoring the excitement, as I mentioned before, but we have this 0 to 100 scale. Everything gets aggregated into that scale. A game starts at 50. And over the course of that game, it'll move up or down according to those metrics and parameters that I mentioned before. And then as it nears the threshold value that our users set, we send out an alert. And where does that alert come? That alert is coming via Twitter, via email, Facebook, text message, on our website. We are in development of Android and iPhone applications that are coming shortly, and also on the connected TV. In this particular example, it's Oklahoma City against Memphis. This was a few weeks ago. We tuned you in. We told you where to find us. In this particular case, it was only on television because I believe this was on TNT. But it just turned out that if you tuned in with about 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, you were in for a real treat. This game didn't stop. It didn't stop. It didn't stop. It went into 3 overtimes, back and forth, great action. And even if you're not from Oklahoma City or you're not from Memphis, but you like basketball, or even if you don't love basketball, but you love great action, we pulled you into this. You got to experience it. And frankly, you didn't have to watch the first couple of quarters, which were not quite so good. So this is part of that value proposition. We're also doing predictive analytics to help give you an alert for what games are upcoming. In this particular example, you're a fan of the Giants. We give you a heightened excitement rating for the Giants as a consequence. And also, you might want to see a couple of these playoff games. We're currently covering 6 sports, 13 leagues across all of those sports. We're adding more every day. Women's World Cup is coming in a couple weeks. Rugby and the World Cup for rugby is coming up in September. This is our revenue model. It starts out okay. It goes a little bit dull. It goes to good. And ultimately, it's great. And we don't know exactly what it's going to be. So this is actually the excitement curve of Tigers versus Blue Jays. We alert you in the 7th inning, and you see a no-hitter by Justin Verlander. So that's the kind of excitement we've got. But our business model is B2B. It's free to consumers. We charge our value-added customers, our partners, for data and technology license, for sponsorship, and also for the premiums that we get for them as our customers go into premium content. Ultimately, this has been very exciting to the press, Sports Illustrated, Wall Street Journal, New York Times,
All right.
Inc., and I need to stop, so thank
You're
you very
done.
much.
Thanks. All right. Now, they can smell blood in the water, so we're going to let them go.
Well, okay, so I'm not a big sports fan, but isn't it the case that pretty much at the end of every game where the scores are close, that's the point where you alert them?
If that were the case, then every 0-0 soccer game or 0-0 baseball game would be exciting. So it's not the case. So what we're doing is, because we're taking a deep look into what our input's the play-by-play from these sports, so we are looking at the pace and the energy of that game. We're looking at how close it is, novelty. So we want to make sure that things are going on that are really going to be eye candy for you. So it's not just close, it's all those other parameters. Momentum is important. If you looked at the Mavericks against the Heat, 3 huge comebacks by Dirk Nowitzki, 15 points down with, 3 minutes left to go and coming back. It's those momentum shifts that are clearly important. If we didn't note the momentum shift, you wouldn't have gotten an alert, but you got an alert because of the algorithms.
What percentage of viewers are watching recorded content versus live content?
The percentage is low right now in terms of recorded content. It's actually really interesting. As we go and talk to our partners, on the East Coast, their opinion is that nobody watches recorded content. On the West Coast, because a lot of games start at 4 p.m. And such, there's more recorded content out here. We're used to this more. But the reality is now you can get any of these games live or archived wherever you are. And especially as you start talking about international sports, you're going to start pulling people in who want to record these events. Like Women's World Cup Soccer, I recommend record it all. And then sign up for Thuuz, get your alerts, and just watch. It's like 20 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game a night. Bring your family and watch a little bit. And I think there is going to be more and more recording of sports, which is key. But the key for us is real-time personalized discovery. We need to be alerting people while these games are going on so they can tune in real time. Sports is perishable. If you don't watch it kind of within 24 hours or stuff, everybody knows about it. It kind of loses that luster, so to speak. So we figure that people are going to either watch it live or watch it within the first few hours of having been completed. And so we don't give you any spoilers. We don't tell you what happened or what the score was or anything, so you can appreciate all the excitement for yourself. But we think behaviors will change.
So I'm still a bit confused as to how, as the end user, I'm going to get delivered on the promise of the service. If, as you're building a B2B play, so you're working with ESPN, I'm going to get an alert from ESPN through you guys about this amazing game, and then I'm going to watch ESPN on my TV, or is it going to be delivered with a link on the browser, on an application on my iPhone?
So it's a great question. So what we're going to be doing is aggregating all those links and points of presence and delivering those to you so that you can experience it on the best screen possible. So if you sign up for Thuuz, we ask for your location and service provider. So when we send you an alert, we say it is NHL hockey on Versus, channel 603, because we know you're DirecTV. So you can go, and if you're in front of your TV, you know immediately how to get there. On the other hand, if you're not in front of your TV, we're going to tell you, go to NHL Game Center Live and pull it up there. Or perhaps on your PC, it's actually being shown on ESPN3 that's there. We want to be that aggregator of all the different points where you can get this content. It is very confusing. Some of it's free, some of it's premium. Some of them you can get, some of them you can't. If you have Slingbox, we want to know that. We don't ask for that yet, but we want to say, hey, you've got Slingbox, you should have Sling Mobile. You can watch from your TV even though you're 2,000 miles away. But we feel we need to alert people on excitement and tell them where to get it at the same time. And both those things in combination will give you instant gratification with sports.
So why a B2B model and not a B2C, where if I'm a sports nut, which is not the case, I might sort of be interested in spending, $10 a month, to get that premium notification that something is happening in real time, because I'm really sort of a big fan of it.
Yeah, so we're certainly not averse to charging consumers. At this point in time, though, we want to. Our partners are the leagues and the service providers, content providers, CE device manufacturers. They're going to have reasons for charging consumers.
All right. You guys take the rest of that one offline. Thank you, Warren. Sorry.
He froze.
Thank you very much.
Mid-sentence. Got to keep the trains on time here. All right, next.